Hey guys, it's Grimnir from Stormcloak Soldier. Here's the promised Q&A video, over 9,000 edition. Got me good beer, well, shitty, cheap beer, but doesn't taste too bad, and high alcohol content, so this will be fun. I got Snopes, all by myself tonight. I wanted Gia to be here for this, but she's off doing Khajiit things, so we'll let her be a Khajiit. She can be a part of the next one. Let's see, I think before I get started on the questions, I'm going to go ahead and share this on the page one more time. So I'll just go ahead and, let's see, share on the page you manage. Well, while I got you here and you guys are being bored, for those who didn't know, I was Talos on the 9 Divines page. Link will be in the description. There was a bit of a falling out today amongst the admins, and I chose to leave the page. No hard feelings to those guys. They're still a great page. You know, I remember when they started, it was because Akatosh, you know, did something that I did. He respected and admired another page, and instead of saying, can I be admin, can I be admin, can I be admin, which happens a lot, and, you know, I'm not going to talk shit about the people that ask to be admin, because I understand why, but at the same time, you've got to have some reason for people to make you an admin on their page. You know, I've been doing this for over a year and a half now. I've gone through a lot of admins on my page. I've been an admin on a lot of pages. And I'm by no means an expert, but I've been doing this long enough, and with, I like to think, you know, decent success, that I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit. Maybe I'm just full of myself. I'm probably just full of myself. But you got to bring something to the plate, you know? You got to have some reason for them to want you to be an admin. So Cody did what I did. You know, when I first came on the Facebook Elder Scrolls scene and saw all these pages, Gabriella, Werewolf of Skyrim, Lokira of Rorikstead, Might the Liar, there were a lot of great pages back then, and they're all still around. Hipster Alduin was a good one. There was a lot of good pages back then, and I really liked it, especially Gabriella. I don't know what it was about that page. You know, and this was before I ever, you know, befriended Cake, and she wound up becoming Mara on Stormcloak. But just something about the way she did her page, it was in character, it was fun, and I wanted to do that. And so I made Stormcloak Soldier. And so that's what Cody did. He made the 9 Divines. He asked me to help him out, and I was Talos on there from the beginning. And my hat's off to him. Cody, you did an awesome job, you know, and despite the drama from today, I just want you to know I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of your page. You've done an awesome job, and I wish only more success for you, dude. You're an awesome guy. I don't have any animosity toward you. I just want you to know that. We're still buddies in my book. So anyway, I'm recording my Q&A right now. Time for last minute questions. The grumpy old Nord. And what's funny is, I was given that name, Grumpy Old Nord, and I'm proud of it. I like being known as the Grumpy Old Nord. It fits me, I think. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start. Cody, Speak of the Devil, asks, Twinkies and wine or mead and sweet rolls? Well, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with Twinkies and wine, but mead and sweet rolls just sounds a lot more fun, don't you think? Let's see. Alyssa, she used to be an admin on the page. Hi, Nordwoman. Been a while. Who is hotter, Serana or Aela? Well, they're both Daedra-worshipping scum, so let's take personality out of the equation, which, for those who know me, know that personality is the biggest thing for me. I can be attracted to just about any woman. I can find something attractive in just about anyone. So personality is a big thing for me. I don't like Serana at all. She drives me up the fucking wall. when I first did the Dawnguard questline with Grimnir, obviously he joined the Dawnguard. You know, he hates the Daedra. That's been a part of him since I created the characters. He hates the Daedra, does not like serving them, doesn't like their artifacts, wants nothing to do with them, wishes there was a way he could kill them, just despises the Daedra. He would have made a great Vigilant of Stendarr. But when I did my first playthrough of the Dawnguard questline, I tried to be, you know, nice, and did everything right with Serana. You know, she loved me at the end, and I was really disappointed with how that kind of mini quest, I guess you could say, because it's the relationship the player has with Serana is interesting, and you have to do things right, and you have to, you know, if you guys have done it, you know what I mean. It's hard to please Serana. So I did that the first time, and actually asked her to cure herself, and she did, and it was neat and cool, and you couldn't marry her, which, you know, that's fine, that makes sense. Next time I played through, though, I wasn't as nice to her. You know, it didn't make sense for Grimnir to be nice to her. You know, I justified it the first time because she had been, you know, locked away for 1,000+ years and all that. Speaking of Gia, I just got a message from her, asking if I'm awake. What should we say to her? Yep. I'm recording my Q&A right now. Alright, so I wasn't as nice to Serana the second playthrough of that questline, and yeah, she was annoying. I wanted her gone. She's a very annoying follower. I hate that there's parts of that quest that you have to have her with you. All that mess. So now Aela, I like Aela. But the whole she wants to be a werewolf, I mean, yeah, it's a matter of choice, but... And I know she's not a bad person. I know she's not. There's nothing in the game to hint that she's a bad person. She seems like a pretty honest, upstanding Nord mercenary, basically. And I like that part of her. I think ultimately it's going to come down to, though, I love redheads, and Aela's a redhead. And that side boob. Alright, what is the most important thing to you, Shane asks. Most important thing to me? It's a good question. Damn it, Shane. That is a good question. There's the part of me that wants to say, you know, honor, integrity, dignity, all that. And that is important. But, to quote Captain Barbossa, they're just guidelines, not really rules. More of a suggestion. Or something like that. I can't remember how he says it. That's actually a joke. If you know me, I've gotten into debates with people on Facebook about the 9 noble principles of Asatru and how they apply and in what situations they apply. And while I'm not Asatru myself, I have a lot of respect for it. It's one of the few religions that, for the most part, I have respect for. And I like the 9 noble virtues. I think they're a very cool idea. I think people should follow them regardless if they're Asatru or not. You know? What's wrong with being noble? What's wrong with perseverance and discipline and, you know, not being a coward? What's wrong with that? Doesn't matter what you follow. It applies to everybody. But there's a lot of talk about how they're not really rules and all that, so... Don't mind me, I'm talking to Gia. So there's that. You know, honor, integrity, those are pretty fucking important. Boobs are pretty fucking important too. Aww. pause this for a moment. Alright, round 2. So I was answering Shane's question, what is the most important thing to you? Love. That's the most important thing to me, is love. Finding someone who cares about you just as much as you care about them. Someone you would do anything for. Someone you would go to oblivion for and back again. That's the most important thing to me. That's love. Sorry I got all, there, but just a lot of shit's going on in my life right now, and I was just very much reminded of what is the most important thing to me. And it's love. It's loving the people that matter to you and being loved by them in return. I can't remember the quote exactly, but what they say in Moulin Rouge, I think, actually sums it up pretty good. Or, as a friend of mine said the other night, it is better to suffer the torments of hell, chained to good friend, than to enjoy the fruits of heaven amongst strangers. So yeah, love is the most important thing to me. George asks, if the Empire didn't outlaw the worship of Talos, would you fight for them? If you know Grimnir's backstory, he was in the Imperial Legion. My backstory for Grimnir is that he was a captain in the Imperial Legion, and shit went down. He saw the Empire for the hypocrites and powermongers that they were, and he left. He didn't leave the Legion because of Talos, per se. He left the Legion because of how they had been corrupted by the Dominion and the Thalmor. So it's not even the outlaw of Talos worship. That's a symptom of the problem. The problem is their corruption. So if you take away the problem, then yes, I have no problem with the Empire. Joshua asks, if you were hit with the Wabbajack, what animal do you think you would turn into? Good question. There's a lot of things that the Wabbajack can do. If Grimnir were hit with the Wabbajack, he'd probably turn into a dragon. If I were hit with the Wabbajack, I'd probably turn into a Sweetwolf. Alright. Kieran asks, what is more frustrating, picking up a wooden plate when you're trying to take the coins, they all count, or searching an empty chest burial urn and you see it's empty the second you go to open it? That's a good question. Both pretty fucking annoying. God damn, those are both annoying. I do the second one a lot more often than I do the first one. I will see empty and still click it to open it. I actually thought about using a mod that would take away the empty label so you didn't know. So yeah, the wooden bowl thing is annoying, but it's not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. You can drop the wooden bowl. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'd go with the empty thing, even though that's why I'd go with the empty thing, is because I do it a lot. What province would, Dan asks, what province would you like to play in for the next Elder Scrolls game? I've talked about this quite a bit, actually. I would like Elder Scrolls 6 to be set in both Elsewhere and Valenwood, and the main quest to revolve around a war between the Bosmer and the Khajiit, as is detailed in, there's a series of books in the game that talk about a previous war between the Bosmer and Khajiit. I think it's called The Dance with Fire or something like that. Kind of comical, but that's what it's about. And I'd like it to be like a revamp of that war, and the main, the player's character is the main. Regardless of what race they pick, they are the main. And just the whole storyline revolves around running around Elsewhere in Valenwood, get to see the moving tree cities, get to see the sands of Elsewhere, and maybe even have Black Marsh as a DLC. I'd like to see those provinces get some love, because they haven't really gotten any, because even when they had them in Arena, they weren't Arena, everything looked the same. So, and now they have some pretty cool concept art from Elder Scrolls Online, which how much they'll take from that, I don't know. But yeah, elsewhere in Valenwood. A lot of people would like to see Somerset Isles and continue the war with the Falmor. You know, and that's another option, but I don't know, the Somerset Isles just don't seem that interesting to me. Maybe it's just me. Alright. Leanne asks, Jarl Orflick's Stormcloak killed High King Torg with his Thum. Would you do the same? Oh, they have 3 questions. Alright, so Jarl Ulfric's Stormcloak killed High King Torg with his Thum. Would you do the same? Well, no, he did not kill Ulfric, or Ulfric did not kill Torg with his Thum. He used Fus Rodah, knocked him down, and then killed him with his sword. I'll tell you that point blank. Yeah, I do not argue at all with what Ulfric did with Torg. Torg was an Imperial puppet. He was an inexperienced leader. He was letting the Empire pull his strings. And, you know, if you talk to the court mage there, I forget her name, it starts with an S, you find out she's a vampire. But anyway, if you talk to her, she alleges that Torg looked up to Ulfric, and had Ulfric asked, he might have succeeded with him. That's a possibility. We'll never know. You know, Ulfric didn't ask. Maybe he should have, I don't know. But at the same time, if he'd asked, and Torg turned out to be an asshole and decided to use that information against Ulfric, that means Ulfric was opening himself up to betrayal. So, yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. I mean, what was going on in Skyrim at that time was fucking bullshit. I don't fault Ulfric, really, for anything. Do you believe that the Sheogorath of Skyrim is the champion of Cyrodiil? Yes, I do. During the, I believe it's Mines of Madness quest, that you meet Sheogorath in Skyrim, he's got some dialogue that pretty much states that he is the champion of Cyrodiil. And of course, if you played the Shivering Isles DLC for Oblivion, you become Sheogorath. You become the Daedra Prince of Madness. So I'm pretty sure it's the same guy, girl, whatever. And being a Daedra Prince, influenced by that sphere of influence of madness, yeah, I could see him, you know, making himself look the same and all that. Would you sacrifice your life for freedom? Absolutely. That's kind of the reason I'm a Stormcloak. Michelle asks, what do you think about the Elder Scrolls Online, and are you getting it? I have mixed feelings. Initially, I was very much opposed to it, but then I got to participate in the beta test, and I enjoyed it. You know, when I did get to play, I really did enjoy it, except for those moments where it was like, you'd run into a character named Miley Cyrus, or you'd get a guild invite from some guild called Twerk It. And yes, these are things that actually happened when I was playing. Although I will admit that the Miley Cyrus character did a pretty good job of actually looking like her, so my hat's off to that. But ultimately, it is an MMO, and I generally don't like MMOs. It is not developed by Bethesda. You know, Todd Howard, all the guys that have made Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, didn't really have anything to do with it. It was done without their, you know, permission. They had no interest in the project. It was not something they wanted to do, but the parent company that owns Bethesda, ZeniMax, owns the Elder Scrolls, and because people have been asking for some sort of multiplayer option in the Elder Scrolls series since Morrowind, they decided to just pull rank over Todd Howard and company and make an MMO because they can make money off of it. When my life settles down and I actually can afford the game, yeah, I'll probably get it. And yeah, I'll probably play it. I really want to play Grimnir on there as like an ancestor of Ulfric's. Start a Stormcloak guild and see if we can take the Ruby Throne and the Empire for the Nords and the Ebonheart Pact. You know, that would be awesome. I'd like to do that. Will it happen anytime soon? I don't know. Now, my life's in an interesting flux right now, and I don't know what the fuck's going on, so. Alright, Morgan asks, best quest. Best quest. That's a good one. There's a lot of quests in the game that I really like. The Dark Brotherhood is certainly interesting to play through. For a while, I think that was my favorite quest line. My first character, my orc, Kurtog, joined the Dark Brotherhood and joined the Thieves Guild. He was kind of my do-everything character. And he, obviously sided with the Stormcloaks, and that was where my love for the Stormcloaks came from, was my experience with him as an orc and the Stormcloaks. And I loved it, and it was awesome. And I did it before I did the main quest, so I got to do the whole thing, and it was a lot of fun. I want to say the Stormcloak quest is the best quest. I enjoy it for a lot of reasons. I've explained a lot of them. I'm really looking forward to playing with the Civil War Overhaul mod. I haven't done that yet. Sadly, my computer died on me, and the computer my friend Printer, is letting me use. Sadly, can't run Skyrim very well. It runs it, but it lags a lot, and it's not as enjoyable of an experience as I would like it to be. So I've kind of not been playing Skyrim, simply because I don't have anything to play it on the way I'd like to. The Thieves Guild was good once you installed the mod that let you pick what city you got quests in. When it was random the way it was, oh my god, that was fucking annoying and took forever. So needless. They could have just said, here it is, pick what city you want to go to so you can hammer them all out and just get it done and you're good. When I got the mod to let you do that, that was awesome. I had my evil character, Lilith. She went through and, yeah, had a lot of fun with her. I guess I didn't really answer the question because I can't really give an answer to the question. I don't know if there is a best quest, in my opinion. It'd rank up there with Dark Brotherhood, Stormcloaks. The Companions was fun. I just thought it was too short. They should have had you do more missions before you got into the circle. I love the Ethereum quest and the Dawnguard DLC. That was a lot of fun. That was very cool. Let's see. Matthew asked, what was your first character's race? Not just in the Elder Scrolls, but in Oblivion or the other prequels. I assume you mean not just in Skyrim, but in the other Elder Scrolls games. I played Arena when it first came out back when I was 12. I think I played a Nord then. I'm pretty sure I did. Might have played a Khajiit, because I was really big into Thundercats back then. And the Khajiit in Arena and Daggerfall. I know I played a Khajiit in Daggerfall. But I think my first race was a Nord. My first race in Skyrim was an Orc. And then I switched to my Nord, Grimnir. But every other game I've played, I typically play Nords. I like Nords, they're cool, I got asked earlier, what my favorite race was and why. And I love Nords because just the culture, the tradition. I love that they're based on my ancestors. I love the whole Viking thing. I like Nords. I really like Nords. Second favorite race would be Orcs. Orcs are fucking cool. Beck asks, what kind of comments piss you off the most that you see in your posts? That's a good question. Anybody that's closely following the page would know the answer to that question, I would hope. Actually, the one that bugs me the most is when, I did this yesterday or the day before, posted about something, I think it was the Talos being a god thing, and somebody comments, geez, it's just a game, get over it. When people get upset and comment that I'm talking about the issues raised in the game, and do the whole, it's just a game, get over it, blah, 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 That annoys me, because it's like, well, no shit, Sherlock, of course it's a game, but it's also a story. And what makes a story interesting is the fact that you can talk about it and debate it and get passionate about it. And that's one of the reasons I love Skyrim so much, is because it's a story I can get passionate about. Not a lot of games do that. You know what I mean? I mean, it's getting better. You know, nobody got passionate about Mario. Nobody got passionate about the story of The Legend of Zelda. You know, there's a lot of games out there that are trying to make, you know, I don't want to say political message, but they're asking questions. They're raising points. You know, they're bringing up the issues in a way that they can be discussed in a somewhat safer environment. In Skyrim, basically everyone's bisexual. You know, well, actually, I can't say you never, because there is a couple of times you actually do see evidence of gay characters in the game, but not many. I think I can only think of one off the top of my head in the Dragonborn DLC. I think there might be another one. I can't remember. But yeah, I think those are the comments that piss me off the most, or the ones that are just stating the obvious. It's like, it's just a game, geez, get over it. Well, no shit. That's the point of this page, is to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about a game, then why are you on a Facebook page about a game? You know, I try to create my own content most times. Not always. Sometimes I repost stuff I find elsewhere that I thought was amusing. But I like to engage in discussion. That's one of the things I love about this page, is being able to talk to people and communication about different ideas and, you know, free flow exchange of thoughts. And I love that aspect of the internet and Facebook. That's why I love running my page, is the fact that, you know, someone can say they prefer the Empire, and I can ask why, and then we can debate, you know, and we can talk about it, and we can bring up the different issues and the different facts. Sometimes, you know, this has happened before. Diehard Imperial, after talking to me, is like, shit, you're right, I'm going to join the Stormcloaks. Sometimes, you know, a Stormcloak will see the way I rant and rave and think, well, fuck you guys, I'm just going to go be an Imperial then. Whatever, I love that idea. So when people say, well, you shouldn't talk about it, which is basically what those messages, those comments tell me, is I shouldn't be talking about it. You're missing the point. You are only proving how retarded you are. Alright, Carrie asks, first Elder Scrolls game you played through? Answered that earlier. Arena. Played it when it first came out. Loved it. I played it. I played another game called Darklands at the time. That game was a lot of fun. You know, I loved the epic fantasy, roaming the countryside, you know, that kind of thing. I love it. It's fucking awesome. There need to be more games like it that do it right. Let's see. Katie asks, who are your top 5 favorite followers and or NPCs? I love Lydia. Lydia's fucking awesome. Jizargo, I had a cat last year that actually named after him. Miss Jizargo, that little fluffy fucker. Aranea, I forget her last name, but the Dunmer Priestess of Azura that you can get as a follower, and the Black Star Quest. She was my favorite follower with my Orc Talk. Those two were buddies. Man, had a lot of fun with her. Let's see, Lydia, Jizargo, Aranea. I kind of like Ilya, but she's just very shallow, and she has the same voice type as Lydia, so. Love Yortis, the Sword Maiden. She's awesome. I think she's like my favorite like hot NPC, which is weird because I'm usually not that into blondes, but there's just something about her. She's just fucking adorable. But I also said NPCs, not just followers, so Ulfric, of course. Ulfric is my favorite NPC out of all the Elder Scrolls games, just because I love the dude. The dude's fucking awesome. I love his cause. I love his motivation. I love the story they built up for him to make him kind of a grayscale character. You know what I mean? It's easy to paint him as a hero or a villain when you don't look at everything. Now, when you look at everything and you really think about the shit that he went through, you know, getting tortured by Elenwen, and then the Thalmor attempting to manipulate him and use him, and it backfiring on them. that aspect of his character that to me a lot of people miss. Like, constantly I get the whole, oh, here, have you read the Thalmor dossier on Ulfric? He's a Thalmor sleeper agent. That's not what it fucking says. Learn to read. So yeah, those are my top 5. Jake asks, if you had the chance, would you be Jarl and then High King? As in Grimnir, my character, or me? Grimnir would not want to be a High King. He would take the position of Jarl if he felt that he was the only man fit for the job. His position of leadership in the Stormcloaks, becoming an officer, the story I have for it is that he had met Kurtog before he came to Skyrim, right after he had left the Legion, and hired Kurtog as a mercenary to help him go free this Thalmor prisoner. And he believed that Kurtog had died. Well, Kurtog's story is he wound up going to Skyrim for his own reasons, joins the Stormcloaks for his own reasons, and through a series of mishaps and accidents and battlefield atrocity, he winds up being the most ranked member of the troop that he was in, and then Grimnir gets assigned to it, and Kurtog just takes one look at him and says, you are the leader of this troop. I'm giving the rank and position to you. He would not want to be High King, though. He would not feel he was worthy. He would not feel he could do the position justice. He would only do it if, there wasn't an Ulfric around. He believes Ulfric's cause is just. He believes that Ulfric is right. He believes Ulfric would make a great High King. That is he would die to put Ulfric Stormcloak on the throne of Skyrim. Maybe even on the Ruby throne. Grimnir is devoted to Ulfric. Grimnir is an Ulfric fanboy. Me? Oh, fuck yes, I would love to be High King. That would be awesome. Alright, we have an admin question from Mara. If you could be a duck for a day, would you? And if so, what would be the first thing you did? If not, why not? Ducks are fucking amazing, man. What the fuck? I think Mara gets bored sometimes. But she left the page, sadly. But anyway, no, I would not be a duck for a day, because I'd be afraid of getting shot and eaten. Fury asks, you do realize I was already doing this, right? Yes, I did. After I had already posted this, I didn't know. That's why I hadn't brought it up, and it took so damn long to do it. Alright, will you guys make a Stormcloak clan in Elder Scrolls? I assume you mean guild in Elder Scrolls Online, and the answer to that is once I can actually start playing, yes, I will. I fully intend to make a Stormcloak guild. Alright. Colin asks, if you were thrown in a dark room with 4 other Stormcloaks and a giant gate released you into an arena with 5 Imperials and 5 Thalmor soldiers, what would be your course of action, preferably detailed? That is an interesting scenario. The Thalmor gotta go first. They're the most dangerous because typically they're mages, which means they have range, and range is bad. My playstyle for Grimnir is something I call mobile tank. He wears light armor, Stormcloak armor, shield, sword, run in, bash them, power attack, just flurry of attacks, and then once they start attacking, get the fuck out of the way. That's kind of most Stormcloaks. Damn, that's a good one. I'm not much of a military strategist, so, yeah. Honestly, I would hope to do some kind of temporary alliance with the Imperials to take out the Thalmor, and then we can just bash the shit out of each other. I hope that was detailed enough. I honestly don't know. Ever wanted to be High King instead of Ulfric? Tipton asks. Answer is no. Like I said, Grimnir is an Ulfric fanboy. He wants Ulfric on the throne. How many mods do you have for your Elder Scrolls? Avinav, I think I said that right, asks. Well, when I was playing on my computer, I had maybe a little over 100 mods installed. My biggest problem is I am a mod junkie. I see something new and shiny on the Nexus, and I want to try it out. And then I don't like it, and then I remove it, and then I'll try something else, and I'll keep swapping out mods, and then my saves get corrupted, and I'm a dumbass who doesn't keep backups. So, yeah. That kind of happens sometimes. But yeah, I really want to upgrade my computer. If you've seen my screenshots and my videos, I don't have the beefiest of rigs. The thing's 5 years old. And, it's got potential. I can, a couple $100, upgrade it and make it a fucking bamf. Make it a beast again. Run Skyrim on ultra settings with every graphics enhancing mod possible. And yeah, I want to do that. Let's see. Austin asks, have you ever helped the Empire, say, playing Oblivion or Morrowind? No, like I said, yes. Grimnir was a member of the Legion. When I played Oblivion, I was a proud member of the Blades, joined the Legion, you know. The Empire under the Septums was for the most part, good thing. I'm generally not a fan of imperialism, but the Septim dynasty actually did try to do right. It kind of reminds me of, and I know this is probably what it was based off of, obviously, but it reminds me of the Roman Empire. There was a good couple hundred years where the Roman Empire was actually a good thing for civilization at the time. Next to modern-day first world, democratic countries, it is considered by historians to be the best time to have lived. Was under that, couple hundred-year ages of the Roman Empire. And I think that's what the Septim dynasty of the Tamrielic Empire was supposed to represent, was that idea. Cheyenne asks, do Nords pick their noses, and if they do, would they use a Dwarven Warhammer or an Ancient Nord bow to help them? Alrighty then, I'm going to need a cigarette for that one. Cheyenne, weren't you one of the people that commented elsewhere that I was hot? Really? Really? No, I'm fugly and I know it. Come on now. Yes, Nords pick their noses, just like all men, mer, and beasts. And we prefer to use ancient Nord pickaxes. Caitlin asks, favorite city? Whiterun. Love Whiterun. I don't know what it is. It's just something about Whiterun that gets me. I don't know if it's the fact that it's the first city I ran into and I just fell in love with it, or... I don't know. Just something about Whiterun just appeals to me. And not just the city, but the entire hold I love. One of my favorite things to do when I'm bored is just take Grimnir out into the countryside of Whiterun and go hunting. It's fun for me. Rupabalan, I'm so sorry if I ruined that. Hey, can you check how many likes there are? It's over 9,000! And actually, now it's over 10,000, which is pretty fucking awesome. I want to thank all of you guys, for coming to my page, and just being a part of this. And I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. I know I can be a cranky old bastard sometimes, and y'all gotta put up with me. I know we've lost a lot of people because of the way I can be sometimes. This page is me. There's other admins, and I'm not going to discount their contributions. There was a couple months where I didn't have internet, and they kept the page alive, and they did an awesome job. And that might be happening again soon, so who knows. But I really consider Stormcloak Soldier my pride and joy. I love this page. I love this community. There's disagreements. I can think of one person right off the top of my head that everything else about him I think is fucking awesome, but he just takes one little issue with me about something I happen to like, and just runs it into the ground and just absolutely despises me because of it, and it becomes drama and all that. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Different people. You know, I wish there wasn't hatred. You know, I wish it could just be a you like something I don't. Whoop-de-doo. But I love when I get the Imperial supporters coming on the page and they're trying to prove their point, and they're all like, yeah, okay, you're right, I'll shut up now. I love that. That is probably my best memory of running this page in the year and a half or so that I've been doing it. Is just seeing people who are so adamant that the Stormcloaks are wrong and they're racist and they're this and this and they're that, and just bringing up all the facts and all the points, and they're just like, oh, okay. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for making us one of the big Skyrim pages that were not big by any stretch of the imagination. I can think of a couple of pages that are just fucking massive, and I would love to see Stormcloak Soldier get like that, just because I love the idea of community. You know, people think I care about likes, and in a way I do, in a way I don't. I care about likes in that I want the page to be bigger because I want there to be more of a community, I want there to be more ideas, I want there to be more points of view. But at the same time, I'm not going to cater my page with the intent of getting more people to follow it. You know, I'm not going to censor myself. I'm not going to say, don't do this because we don't want to scare people away. You know, the only thing that I've done is said, let's keep the pony posts to a minimum, because we know a lot of people don't like those. What was the other thing? Oh, and I used to do the whole sexy Nord last thing, and I stopped doing that because we kept getting reported, and I kept getting banned from Facebook, and just people needed to pull their heads out of their asses. If there's no nipples, if there's no vagina, it's not porn. You don't need to fucking report it. Come on now. You have to be 13 to use the goddamn site anyway, and if you can't stand seeing a chick in a bikini, there's something wrong with you, not me. Sorry, talking to Gia. Alright. Joshua asks, if Mer and men have common ancestors, how come the ancient Nords are from Akbar? Alright. I do not believe that Mer and men have common ancestors. The lore is pretty clear that they come from two different places. The Mer, the elves, come from Aldmeris, which, you know, what Aldmeris is, no, you know, it's not really clear. It's kind of hinted that it's not an actual physical landmass like Atmora, which I think is what you meant by Akbar. I think you meant to say Akavir, but the ancient Nords are from Atmora, not Akavir. Whereas Atmora is kind of proven to have been a landmass that froze and sunk, and you know, the Atmorans came to Skyrim as immigrants, and the whole Falmer, Snow Elf, Night of Tears thing happened. And don't get me started on that. Every elf in Tamriel is descendant from the Aldmer from Aldmeris. Every human on Tamriel is descendant from the Atmorans, except the Red Guards, who apparently came from their own landmass called Yakuta. It's kind of interesting how they did that, why they made that different. I'm not sure why they did that. I can't help but wonder if there's not a connection between Atmora and Yakuta, of course, because humans obviously would have common ancestors, especially on a planet where you have elves and Khajiit and Argonians and orcs and all that. Johnny asks, do you like pots? I like breaking them in Legend of Zelda. Slade asks, which storyline do you think is better, Skyrim, Oblivion, or Morrowind? It's a good question. I've yet to do a complete playthrough of Morrowind or Oblivion. Well, no, I have done a complete playthrough of Oblivion, kind of. I've done the main quest. God, I hate the Daedra fucking portals. Just, no, the Oblivion gates. No, nightmares, no. I don't know. I like all the storylines, really. The only thing about Skyrim's storyline that to me felt lacking was it didn't have the epic feel that I think Oblivion and Morrowind had, although I don't think Morrowind really had as much of an epic feel as Oblivion. But like I said, I have yet to do a complete playthrough of the main quest of Morrowind. I need to, I should, I can run it on this computer, I should probably play it. I keep meaning to play it, I just keep getting distracted by other shit. I have ADHD, so come on, leave me alone. But I want to say Skyrim, if only for the fact that, you get to go to Sovngarde, you get to defeat a god, basically. I was really disappointed with the final fight with Alduin. I know if you put it on a higher difficulty, and certain mods can make it a real fucking challenge. But just the vanilla game, I usually play on expert difficulty. Until I hit, level 50, 60, then I'll switch to master. I put it on legendary once when that patch first came out. I was in Fort Dawnguard at the time. I switched to legendary. I don't fast travel, so I went to leave Fort Dawnguard to go somewhere, and I was running along the road that leads from Dayspring Canyon to Riften, and a couple of low-level vampires attacked me, and I wasn't very high level at the time. I think I was maybe level 30 or 40, and they fucking owned my ass. It was insane. So yeah, I notched that back down to expert. I don't fuck around with legendary difficulty. This ain't Dark Souls, for fuck's sake. And I know it's easy to break the game and all that. I don't play that way, Grimnir's a sword and board nord. He doesn't really fuck with enchanting. He doesn't really fuck with alchemy. He gets a smithing up. But your sweet ass, he gets a smithing up as quickly as possible. But yeah, he just sword, board, armor, I'm good. Healing potions. Bennett asks, what is your favorite race to play as and why? And also, do you ever get tired of the main quest? I don't get tired of the main quest. I've done it a few times now. I enjoy it every time, but I like to put it off. Sometimes I like to, it just depends on my playthrough and my mood. I've done so many playthroughs of Grimnir, I think I'm on my next one will be my 11th. I like the main quest for Skyrim. I do. But yeah, it can get repetitive when you've already done it so many times and all that. As for my favorite race, I already answered that. Nord, by far. Let's see. Sean asks, if you could go back to Sovngarde for a second time, would you? Well, that is Grimnir's ultimate goal. Being a Nord, being a proud Nord warrior, he dreams of Sovngarde. When he joined the Companions and became a werewolf, he loved being a werewolf. He thought that was awesome. But then talking to Kodlak really put things into perspective for him, and it reminded him that this was a gift from a Daedra prince, and he was sworn to that Daedra prince, and he despises the Daedra. He doesn't really hate Hircine. He doesn't really see Hircine as that bad of a Daedra. He can think of much worse. But, he doesn't like being sworn body and soul to a Daedra. He's a Nord. He dreams of Sovngarde. It's where he wants to go when he dies. And considering that he got the chance to go there, to visit there, and meet Soon, and pass the test, and meet Ysgramor, and Jurgen Windcaller, and all the heroes, and just, he was it was a life-changing experience for him, and now he's just like, I am a noble Nord warrior, and I will die with my sword in my hand, and I will go to Sovngarde. So, alright. I'm not sure if it's Jan or Jan. Who is better vampire, Serana or Babette? Well, Babette, of course. Babette's fucking awesome. How could you go wrong with Babette? She's cool. Zachary asks, if there was a time when nothing existed, then surely there must have been a time before that when even nothing did not exist. So when nothing came into existence, would you classify it as existing or non-existing? Nothing is nothing. That is the definition of the word nothing, is nothing. So was there a time when nothing existed? I don't know, maybe. I wasn't there. I'm not into religion or any of that. So yeah, I'm fucked if I know. Peter asks, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck based on the assumption that woodchucks are both willing and capable of chucking wood? You may give your answer in any metric standard weight measurement because, you know, no imperials here. Peter, this is why I love you. Sorry, I didn't say that. What? Alright. No fucking clue. I don't feel like doing math right now. Robert asks, if you could be a lemon, what kind of lemon would you be? What? Ben asks, Balgruuf or Vignar Greymane? Well, I'm a Stormcloak, so I'm pretty sure you can guess the answer to that. Vignar Greymane all the fucking way. And that was the last question from the actual post. I've answered all those. Maybe not satisfactorily, but I've answered them. But I also gave time for last-minute questions, so let's go do those. Kirsten asks, Elder Scrolls Online is the biggest mistake the franchise has ever made. True. No. Because, to be perfectly honest, the franchise, the Elder Scrolls, Bethesda, did not make that mistake. That was made by the parent company, ZeniMax, as I talked about earlier. I think, honestly, the biggest mistake they made was not ever doing any kind of multiplayer. I don't think there ever would have been an MMO had they just done some... Okay, here's what I wish Skyrim had. Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto 4? Or 5? I guess Grand Theft Auto 5. I haven't played it yet, but I guess it has the same multiplayer setup that 4 did, kind of. I wish they had done something like that. You know, you could have mission-based, you know, stuff like that. But the thing I really would have loved to have seen them do was just have like a free roam. You have to make a new character. It's not your Dovahkiin from, you know, the single player version of the game. It's just a totally different character. No Dovahkiin, no main quest. You know, maybe there will be an NPC Dovahkiin running around and you can help them out or whatever. But it's just you and like a few of your buddies just running around Skyrim having fun. That would have been fucking awesome, and I would have loved it. I think the biggest mistake they made was that they didn't do that. Had they done something like that, that would have been just killer. I would have loved it. Skyrim would have been a much... I'm not saying it isn't a fun game to play, because here it is 2.5 years later, still fucking playing it. Still fucking talking about it. It's an amazing game the way it is. It's one of the greatest games ever made, in my opinion. But as anything good, it can always be better. That's what mods are for. Alright. Lachlan asks, have you played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? And if so, what did you think of it? I have not played Knights of the Old Republic. That game came out when I wasn't really gaming that much. For those who don't know, I spent from 2001 till 2011 in prison. I'm not going to go into why. It's not pertinent to the page, but I spent 10 years in prison, and obviously we were not allowed to game. We couldn't have consoles, we couldn't have computers, no internet, no nothing. Cut off from society. Only gaming I did was my own version of D&D, basically, which wasn't allowed, but we got away with doing it, and that's what kept me sane. It was just playing tabletop role-playing games. So the last console that I owned was a PlayStation 1. Alright, Bailey asks, what made you choose the name Grimnir? I think I've talked about this before. I think I get asked this every time I do a Q&A. But I love the story, I love the name, so no problem. As I told you guys, my first character was an orc named Kurtog, and I really wanted to play a Nord. And I went on to a website that it was just all about Nordic names from Norse mythology and history and all that. And I was just reading through them all, trying to find a good idea for a name for a Swordenborg Nord warrior, noble savage, all that. And I started reading about Grimnir One-Eye, who was basically an avatar of Odin. It was the name Odin used when he walked, the earth as a human. And it was when he hung himself on the tree for knowledge and sacrificed his eye and all that. And I love the name, and it's why Grimnir has one eye. Because I was totally ripping off the idea of Odin. That's how we got the name. I wanted a good Norse-sounding name, and I loved the name Grimnir One-Eye, and I loved the story behind it, that, it was Odin walking the earth as a mortal man and all that, and he sacrificed himself for knowledge, and I thought that was fucking cool. And what's funny is my original idea for Grimnir, that I've not actually done yet, and one of these days I really, really want to get around to it, was my original plan for him was that he was going to become a dragon priest and resurrect worship of the dragons. And kind of become almost an evil, quasi-evil Skyrim version of Odin. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Honestly, I don't know if I ever will, because I love playing Grimnir the way he is. He's very much a fantasy version of Clint Eastwood, and I love that. That's fucking awesome. Alright, and Jared Campbell says, "You're a fag." Well then. Good for you. To begin with, you misspelled your. I believe you were going for "you are a fag," which would mean it would be your as in you, or Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, not Y-O-U-R, which is the possessive, which basically what you're saying is that the fag is mine. Only fags I own are my cigarettes. But if you were going for the "you are a fag," thus implying I am homosexual, you're only half right. I'm bi. I'm mostly into chicks, but occasionally I meet a guy that turns me on. Let's see here. Any other questions? Refresh the page. Does not appear to be any more. Well, shit. We've run out of questions. I guess that's a good place to call it. Now that we're out of questions, I want to thank you guys for being a part of the page, for making us what we are, because we totally would not be a 10K page without you guys. Let's see. 10,307 likes. When I started the page, I had a thing. Every time we hit a round number of likes, so like 10, 20, 30, 40, I'd always, thank whoever that person was, and then post a video that, I'd go on their profile, look at the kind of stuff they had liked, and post a video I thought they would like, to thank them for, following the page and all that. And I haven't really done that in a long fucking time, actually. But when you hit this many, it's hard to keep track of every 10 likes. I'm sure you guys understand. However, to show my appreciation, when I post this video in the comments for it on the page, tell me, what would you like me to post as a thank you for all 10,307 of you at this time, and however many more there may be to come. I want to thank you guys. I really do. I feel bad when we did the contest a while back for the Stormcloak pendant that fell through. Never heard back from the guy who offered it, and that was my fault. I should have made sure I had it before I did the contest. I feel really bad for Sonia. Poor German lady who won that contest, never got her prize, and one of these days I will make it up to her. She will get something. I'm just been too fucking broke to get anything. I was given this pack of cigarettes by a friend, and I used the change on my desk to buy the beer. And it's cheap fucking beer. But I really, really, really want to thank you guys for making us what we are, and for giving a shit about what we post, and, giving me a reason to do this Q&A and talk to you guys like this. I love doing this. when I get settled, that reminds me, something I have to tell you guys. I just found out a couple days ago that I have less than 2 weeks to move to find somewhere else to live. And I don't know where I'm going to be going. I don't know what my arrangements are going to be. Everything's kind of up in the air right now, and I'm freaking out a little bit because I haven't had a job in a while, despite my attempts to find one. I've got no money. I have no idea where I'm going. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm going to get settled somewhere, and if I do, if there's going to be internet there. So here in a couple of weeks, I might disappear from the page for a while. I hope that doesn't happen, but it's a possibility. And I just want to forewarn you guys that that's a possibility. I love adminning this page. I really do. Stormcloak soldiers, my pride and joy. I love it. I love talking to you guys. And that's what brought all this up, is hopefully after I get settled and I can upgrade my computer and all that and get a better fucking webcam, I'd like to start doing like a regular campfire talk type of thing. Maybe a live stream on YouTube. Like Ilfiri and I did that one night, the Ilfiri and Grimnir get drunk together video. That was fun. And I'd like to do stuff like that more often. I will eventually like to do Let's Play. I don't know if you guys followed Gopher's vids on YouTube. He does a very, very awesome and fun to watch Skyrim Let's Play, and I want to do something like that with Grimnir. He's very in character, very immersive, no fast travel. It ain't about exploiting the game, it's about living the story of your character. And I'd really, really enjoy doing something like that for you guys. I think some of you guys would really enjoy watching that. It's something that's been requested of me a lot, actually, is to do a Let's Play with Grimnir, and it's something I want to do. I just haven't had the system to run it on, to do it. It takes a bit of processing power to do it, and I just don't have it right now. I wish I did. So hopefully when I get settled and find a job, and start getting an income again, I can upgrade my computer and I can start doing that, because fuck, I'd love to do that. I guess that's it. It's been fun. See you guys on the page, and I really hope you guys enjoy this. I know I do. God, I know I do. I love this page. I love you guys. It's a lot of fun. So take it easy. Drink your mead. Smoke your skooma. Whatever it is you do. Talos guide you. All hell.